Hey everyone, it's Dr. Dan Ritchie, owner of Miracles Fitness. I promised you this short little video on our Labor Day sale. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about the concept of ageless fitness and what we do at Miracles Fitness. For too long, I think people have made the mistake of thinking we're a fitness club or health club or training place for what they call old people. And I don't really like that label because you can feel old in your 30s. And you might not feel old in your 70s. And so ageless fitness actually is a phrase that we've coined for fitness places around the country. We now have over 30 locations. A bunch of Anytime Fitnesses are running ageless fitness across the country. We also have another one known as Fit Body Forever. There are about 44 Fit Body Forever locations run out of Fit Body boot camps. And so this concept of what we started at Miracles Fitness has really taken off, which is exciting. We're actually now certifying trainers around the world, and we have functional aging specialists in 18 countries. So what does that really mean for you here in West Lafayette, Greater Lafayette area, thinking about, should I jump in on the Labor Day sale? I know you've seen we've had a Labor Day sale now since 2012. It's actually interesting to see that other fitness studios have copied us on Labor Day sales and Black Friday sales, and that's great. A sale is just an opportunity for you to jump into a personal training program and save a little bit of money, get a deal. So what's a functional aging specialist and why does it matter for you? Well, at Miracles Fitness, we have actually developed the theoretical model for training people really, really well into their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and even beyond. We're going to see some clients start training with us in their hundreds before too long. We have had a client live to 100 in the past. We don't have anyone that old right now, just a few in their 90s. It's focused on 6 domains of human function. So our primary focus here at Miracles Fitness is to help you function better so that you can do whatever it is you need to do in life. Whether that's be more productive at work, be more productive in retirement, be more productive with your kids, with your grandkids, with travel, whatever it is. We think about the concept of the physiology of aging. A 44-year-old knee is not the same as a 24-year-old knee, and an 84-year-old knee is not the same as a 44-year-old knee. And so how we're going to train you impacts that across the age spectrum. Safety and health, of course, is going to be a primary focus. Doesn't do you any good to have your workouts beating you up. Doesn't do any good to have your fitness programming injuring you. I'm going to talk a little bit about functional longevity, what that means, and your aging trajectory. So here's a concept known as your aging trajectory. We all physiologically experience birth and growth and development early in life, and at some point we physically peak. Now, there's some argument is that in our 20s, is that in our 30s, but most agree that we physiologically peak somewhere in our late 20s, early 30s. That may depend on the activity and the sport. The question really is, what's your decline going to look like? Is it going to be on this blue line where you're above disability thresholds, you're still able to live independently in your own home, still climbing stairs, still traveling, still playing with the grandkids, or are you going to decline at a rate that puts you at risk for disability thresholds? That's really what your aging trajectory is about. That's really why we primarily focus on training function first and foremost. You want to be in the upper half, so to speak. When we look at the hierarchy of functional aging, we're not really even concerned about you being an elite athlete, but we want you to be somewhere in the fully fit to higher independent category, that 2, 3, and 4, so you're able to do all the things that you want to do. Once you slip into the lower independent or the pre-frail category, you're one injury, one illness, one incident from really losing independence. And so you're at risk if you're in the lower independent category. So if right now you're listening to me and you're like, man, I'm not sure if I'm in the higher independent or lower independent, we need to talk. Because if you're in the lower independent category and you're at risk for slipping into pre-frail or frail, your life can change pretty dramatically pretty quickly. In fact, we see people in their 70s completely independent, they slip and they fall, all of a sudden they break something, they move into the pre-frail category, and in some cases they never fully recover, and so now they've dropped into that bottom tier and they're not experiencing life the way they expected. So how do we ensure functional longevity? what is it we really do, so that you can maintain your ability to do what you need to do, want to do, and like to do as late in life as possible. Well, it's really about quality and quantity. That's what's functional longevity, right? It doesn't do you any good to live to 90 if you don't have the quality as well. And so we want to ensure that you can still do all the things you need to do, want to do, and like to do. For some people, that's they want to work into their 70s and even 80s. For some people, it's they want to retire and take up a new passion or hobby, maybe start a non-for-profit. Maybe it's paint, maybe it's write, maybe it's bird watch, maybe it's travel. You get to determine what it is you want to do and like to do as late in life as possible. We're just here to support that. So again, when we look at the functional trajectory of aging, we say, hey, it's not really living if you're just above the disability threshold. You really want to be above the stuff you like to do threshold, right? Things like golfing, gardening, working, playing with grandkids, traveling, taking adventures, starting new hobbies, taking up photography, painting, composing, a new instrument, juggling, kayaking. There's all sorts of things I hear people. Pickleball is now all the rage. Whatever it might be, you want to stay above the stuff you like to do, right? If you're starting to have conversations about climbing stairs and, you know, going shopping and taking a trip and maybe you can't do it, you've slipped on the aging trajectory, right? So the reality is you might be listening to this thinking, oh, well, Miracles Fitness is really for people in their 60s and 70s. But let's be honest, in your middle years, in your 40s and 50s, if you don't put in the work, then you're slipping on this blue line trajectory down towards that yellow line. And so all of a sudden you can wake up one day and be 58, 60 years old and go, man, where did my functional ability go? Where did my range of motion go? Where did my strength go? Where did my energy go? And so you can't just put it off until you retire. In fact, I tell people it's a whole lot easier if you come in when you're 55 and we'll get you in the best shape of your life by the time you're 60 than if you wait till you're 65. In fact, one of our slogans around here is if life really begins at 50, then you should be in the best shape of your life at 65. And so you're going to have to train in your 50s if that's going to happen. And so we look at this gap and what does it take to change it, right? Depending on where you're at across the age spectrum, we want to make sure you're at the highest trajectory, the highest blue line as possible. And so we joke around here and say, we're not really selling fitness. We're not selling strength training. We're selling the blue line, right? What we're really selling is the concept of you having the best of your years still ahead of you. And with training, we know that can happen. So from your current trajectory to your future trajectory, what does that look like? What does that mean? Are we going to do that in one magic workout? Well, absolutely not, right? It's going to take a number of sessions. In fact, we recommend 60 sessions as the minimum. And so the Labor Day sale, if you buy 60 sessions, we're actually going to give you an extra 10 weeks for free. So if you buy 30 weeks, the minimum sessions you get is twice a week. That's 60 sessions. We're going to give you 10 weeks for free, so an additional 20 sessions. If you buy 90 sessions or 3 times a week, you're going to get an additional 30 sessions on the 30-week program. So again, the 6 domains of function, you can see how complex it is. We're training musculoskeletal, strength, speed, power, muscular endurance. We're training neuromuscular, that's coordination, proprioception, joint awareness, motor control. How do I move and control all the coordinated movement? We want you to move better and feel like you're more athletic. The cognitive emotional piece, motivation, confidence, problem solving. The mobility piece, your ability to get up and down from the floor, negotiate obstacles, walk across a room, step over things. Balance, of course, is huge, and there's so many strategies for that. And, of course, the cardiovascular. So we're training all of these things, which is really critical. So the key for us is that you become a successful hero of aging, right? I mean, look at Yvonne here at 90 years old, figure skating. As you grow older, if you don't move, you won't move. And so it's not wait till you're 90, right? She didn't wait till she was 90 to take up figure skating. She didn't wait till she was 90 to be physically active. You have to start doing it now so that you can have an amazing life in your 80s and 90s. And so if you're in your 40s or 50s and you're thinking, oh, I'm not ready for Miracles Fitness yet, you probably are. In fact, there's probably some 60-year-olds here. You'd be amazed at how fit they are. And so really, no matter your age, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, it's time you check out Miracles Fitness. I hope you take advantage of the Labor Day sale. It's buy 30 weeks, get 10 weeks free. By 48 weeks, get 16 weeks free. So to ensure your aging trajectory is as functional as possible, to ensure your longevity is as healthy as possible, so you can set new goals for new adventures and new dreams. One of our big sayings around here is, what can you say yes to next, right? What opportunities coming your way in the next 6 months, maybe next 12 months, maybe next 6 years, right? That you can say yes to. Well, you can only say yes to those things if you're physically ready and you're physically able. So we'd love to get you started this week. The Labor Day sale runs through Saturday. If you have any questions, shoot us an email, danritchie@miraclesfitness.net. Just shoot us an email or stop in. We'd love to see you. Thanks, everyone.